couldn't even talk about my mum wanking, let alone her shouting Ricky at the top of her fucking voice. I mean, this explains a lot to me about why you're like you are.
Anyway.
So how old were you when your mum started having the affair?
Probably about 12.
Right.
About 12. And it went on for a few years. Well, according to her, it went on for her whole life. But I think the white heat of it was during the 70s. And a number of things happened, including she turned her whole life over to golf. My mum became herself a golfing memorabilia salesperson. At times, I think, really pissing off her lover by selling more stuff than he did. Right? She became like a massive golfing memorabilia person. But the story that Ricky is referring to is in the show.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I talk about my listening to my parents having sex quite a lot, because my dad used to make the most incredible noises when he was having sex. It was like, for years, I thought there was a wounded walrus in my parents' bedroom. It's fucking incredible. And I think I've been...
No, I've never heard that.
Right.
I have never heard my parents having sex.
Oh my God.
I don't think they did after I was born, to be honest.
Right.
But if they had, I couldn't have talked about it. I couldn't have talked about it. Go on.
Well, I'll tell the story. I do tell a story in the show, which you've heard, but it is a completely true story. When I was a bit older, about 15, I was sort of used to it by then. And they did carry on having sex, my parents, even though my mum was having this affair. My dad clearly thought, well, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to get as much sex as I can. And he would continue to make these noises. And I had a mate who was staying at my house. You might even know him. He's called Dave Gavrin. He's a guitarist in the Sundays. You remember the Sundays?
Yes.
Yeah, he's an old mate of mine, really lovely bloke. He stayed over at my house, and he stayed in the room that was next to my parents' room, and I went and slept in another room. And I said to him, but before I left him, I said, my parents might have sex during the night, and you should know my dad makes these really weird noises. And he went, yeah, all right. You know, he was 15. I know what sex sounds like. He got a bit teenage about it. Right. I went to this other room, 3 o'clock in the morning, he knocks on my door, white with fear, and he says, it's completely true, he says, Dave, I think your mum's died. Right? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, your dad is making noises like I've only ever heard. Like my uncle made them at my auntie's funeral. So I went in with him, 3 o'clock in the morning, waited about 5 seconds, and I said they're having sex, and went back to bed, right? So it was like that every fucking night. And I think it damaged me. But not as damaged as once. I'm telling you the whole show here. But anyway, once I heard my mum having sex without my dad, meaning, you know, she was on her own. And so she was she made a lot of weird noises while she was doing that. But the most damaging, I think, for me, is at the end of this activity, the noise she made then, which was the sound of her screaming 3 times the word David. So that's very, very complicated. And when I tell that in the show, it gets a very extraordinary reaction.
I couldn't even talk about my mum wanking, let alone her shouting Ricky at the top of her fucking voice. This explains a lot to me about why you're like you are. And I tell you, you're not as mad as you fucking should be.
That's true.
No, you're fucking cool, man.
What's the show? You know, you should say that's not the half of it, really. Right. I had a very odd upbringing.
So, but yeah.
No, well, both my brothers have had quite severe breakdowns, and I'm a bit mental. So I think I'm just a functioning, you know, whatever I am. But
you're in your therapy, aren't you? That's what you do. That's what you lot do.
It's an interesting idea about your mum shouting Ricky when she was wanking. I know she didn't, but.
Well, I don't know that she did or she didn't, but because I've never thought about it, and I don't want to think about it now.
Okay, well, I'm going to make you think about it.
Can we stop the talk about my dead mother wanking?
Well, okay.
What was the other story?